make an opening statement, just your general thoughts on this upcoming season.
My general thoughts on the season are, hey, it's exciting. Anytime, you jump into late July, early August, you get excited about football in general. I think everybody's excited about the guys that they brought in. They're talking about across the board. They've been boosted their roster. They got better. I think everybody did across the board. And just really pumped about what our guys have been able to do. Going back the last season, had our first winning season. Didn't finish the year off the way that we thought, but it left us with a taste in our mouth that we can get better. And I think we did just that. Addressed a lot of positions on this team. Feel really good about the transfers we brought in. Some young high school players that can contribute very early. Back we have some starters that are coming back from last year's team that I feel really good about their development and growth throughout the course of the year, and just really excited about our team this season, and I feel really good about this group.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to some questions here again. If you have one for Coach George, let us know down in the chat. We'll go Mike Organ, you're up first, and we'll follow that by Brandon. So, Mike, go ahead and ask your questions. Well, Mike was there. He was in the chat. We don't hear you, Mike, if you're trying to ask. Let's go to Brandon then, and then we'll circle back to Mike in a sec. Brandon, unmute yourself and go ahead and ask.
Good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Hey, Brandon, how you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Good to chat with you again here. Um, Wanted to ask you, obviously, going into last season, you got off to the great start. You had a bit of a stumble coming down the stretch. When you look at how the season ended, in terms of evaluating team moving forward, if you had to kind of describe how last season went, and what the lessons you can learn moving into next season, how would you term
I think to sum it up in terms of last season, how we ended November, we were a little depleted. I think in terms of bodies, we were beat up, banged up a little bit. Lost a couple games that we should have won. Very competitive games, Charleston Southern, Eastern Illinois, and of course, lost to Tennessee Tech. In each one of those games, we had opportunities to win it. And the ball didn't bounce our way a few times. And I felt like offensively, from a philosophical standpoint, schematically, we needed to make some changes. And I think we've addressed that this offseason. We had to get better across the board. And when I look back, it was an amazing year last year. Had some really great quality wins. And it was a growing period for us. But for us to take that next step, understanding that we're one or two plays from having a 9-win season, is very encouraging for our guys. And our guys feel that. So we don't look at it as a missed opportunity or as a negative. It's an opportunity for us to get better. I think we've embraced that. I know that we've embraced it. This is an exciting year. I think guys feel the energy, they feel the momentum, and understanding that we can have a team that can compete on any given Saturday.
Kyle, do I have time
Yeah,
for
go, yeah,
you need
go
to
ahead,
circle
Brandon.
back
Yeah.
around to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks. All right, so let's fast forward to the end of the season. The championship game has happened. What would need to happen for Tennessee State to be hoisting the hardware at the end of the year?
Well, what has to happen? We've got to get better every single week. We've got to have 9 units strong by November. I harp on that. Since I've been here, November has been a month that have not fared well in, and that's for various reasons. From a resource standpoint and certainly a mindset. We made some changes in our schedule to help with that. We're really encouraging our guys to really focus on recovery, changing some things up in how I practice as well. We want to practice hard, but also we got to be efficient and smart and save bodies. And just having quality depth also in terms of development. Recognizing that, understanding that this is the process is not about winning the championship. Of course, you want to win. Everybody wants to win the championship, but our focus is going to be on the process and how we get there, our daily habits, how we're encouraging one another, how we're challenging one another, how we're making each other better across the board holistically. And if we're all on board with that and committed to that, I believe that we could be in the conversation of a championship by the end of the year. So that's our main focus, and our guys have done an amazing job going back to the end of last season through our winter conditioning, our spring, and now our summer conditioning. Just being very diligent, taking to coaching, really has taken a lot of ownership in terms of this team, the identity of this team, and where they're going to go. And I'm excited to see what they're going to do this fall.
All right. Thanks, Coach, and wish you much luck and success this season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike has figured out his mute, so we'll go to Mike Organ, and Zaria will be after him. So Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Sorry about that. Eddie, you mentioned depth. You mentioned staying strong throughout the season. How did you do in the transfer portal? Do you feel good about that since last season in terms of depth and other than depth?
Yes, I feel really good about it. I think we have a great blend, struck a balance between high school players and also the transfer portal, some transfer players that we brought in, especially on the both lines, interior defensive line and the offensive line. Had a chance to assess talent throughout the spring and feel really good about where we are. I mean, we had six to eight offensive line in the spring, alignment in the spring total. And the guys never wavered. They never flinched, never complained about the amount of reps they were getting. They just love ball. And that told me that the mindset is being developed. We're not quite there yet, but it's being developed. Defensive line, we made some great additions, I believe, in terms of size, some girth. Of course, the guys still got to go out and play and get it done. In the quarterback room, this is the first year that DJ Ellis had a chance to have a spring, and he had the best spring in his career, embracing a new offense, and that was encouraging to see. And there's some areas that I think we're a little thin at that we have to be mindful of. At linebacker, we're young and athletic at defensive back. Tight ends, we've got some really good tight ends coming in. So I feel good about the collection that we put together in this roster that we put together. And like I said, you look across college football, everybody feels like they got better. Everybody feels like they have a chance to win a championship. And that's rightfully so. We recruit the same players. So now we have to develop them and continue just to churn and chop wood and just grind it out, because that's what it is. The summer is about, the heat and forging the team that you see fit and getting them ready for a grueling schedule. It's going to be a long year.
I know you've got a new offense. You've got an interesting running back tandem there. Talk a little bit about that tandem, how they're different, how they're the same, what you see out of the running game this year.
Well, the running game is tweaked a little bit. We're still going to be an inside-outside zone team. We're going to do a little bit more in terms of getting the backs downhill a little bit more. You'll see more of that. We're still going to have our perimeter attack as well, our RPOs. But in terms of the running back room, it's deep. We've got about 10 backs that we have. And honestly, I'm looking for the alpha. I'm looking for a dog that I can lean on 30 and 30 out. Until that guy emerges, is going to be by committee. Right now, Jordan Gann is our starter. Jalen Rouse, who jumped in the portal, is now back with us. They are 1-2 punch. They know the offense. They know the offensive line. They know the makeup of the team. We've added Jaden McGill, who we're going to get a good look at this fall camp. Kadarius Roberts is a kid I think that could be an explosive playmaker for us, both as a running back, but also as a returner in our kicking game. But we're going to find out a lot more about Jonathan Moore and Antoine Parker and Craig Cunningham. And we also have a transfer that's coming in, C.J. Evans, who is with Austin P, who was a big-time playmaker for them. So this camp is going to see a lot in terms of how that that position shakes out in terms of the rotation, who's going to make it. And a lot of those guys understand that, hey, in order for me to get on the bus, I have to be on special teams. And we're really harping on that. And we got some really talented guys in terms of depth wise in that room and really across the team that's going to really help our special teams unit.
You're up next. Go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how are you?
How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm outstanding. Can't complain.
What is motivating your team for this upcoming season?
Oh, what's motivating is a chance to win a championship.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, when they're walking around the weight room and the way that we train and how we train, they see this as an opportunity to build something special. You know, we've been at this thing now going on my 4th year, and I've slowly have seen an evolution in terms of the mindset and the expectations and the standard that has been set. And the one thing I know about this team and the teams that have been here prior the last 3 years is that they're always going to work hard. I mean, you can't pull them off the field in terms of the weight room and the indoor. You know, they're always throwing the ball, always looking to get better. Now we've improved dramatically since that time, and now they want to see the fruit of their labor. I think they're hungry for success. I know they're hungry for respect. I know the talent is there. They can feel it. They know what we can do. Again, you look at the teams that we played against last year, we were 1 or 2 plays away from, having a 9-win season, a 10-win season. We play with grit. We play with tenacity. We play with discipline. Now we just have to go out and execute and be consistent and really demand that from each other and hold each other accountable. Playing at a high level of intensity, relentless effort every single play. And again, the focus becoming a 9-unit strong team by November. And that's the process that's every day, every minute, every time you walk into this building, that's what it's going to take. So that's the expectation.
I believe Mark has a question, and then we'll wrap it up for Coach George's segment. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks, Kyle. Hey, Coach. Mark Simpson here at the Big South office. Great to see you.
Nice seeing you too, Mark.
Just a couple quick ones. Your non-conference schedule, impressive. The one that stands out, North Dakota State. How did that game come about, and how are you using your past playing experiences to help your team prepare to play in that kind of environment?
Well, it came about, I think, 2 years ago. They called about a game, and I'm like, man, let's get it done. Let's do it. I love, going on the road at various venues, especially against a program of that magnitude. Listen, we played at Notre Dame Stadium last year, so it's nothing our guys haven't seen. We're accustomed to playing in tough environments. My first year went down to Mississippi State. So we look forward to playing in those venues against those teams because it's a great measuring stick to see where we are and to know that, hey, we're not going in here trying to collect a check. We're going there to go win a game. And that's to go there and compete. So we're excited about playing North Dakota State in their venue, given all of their success, who they are, what they're known for, their brand, their physical style of play, something that we want to become and that we need to be playing against these teams. And that's kind of it. We're really excited about the off-season schedule that we put together. And we feel like we can be competitive in every game that we play this year.
My last question, more personal. You get to coach your son and the success he had. So as a father and as a head coach, what were your expectations going after the season, going into this year? And then how do you balance being that father and being a coach when your coach is on the team, when your son is on the team?
There is no balance. I'm when I'm with my son, I coach him how I raise him. I mean, Eric is he's grown so much. When he got here, he was 6'2", 250 pounds. Now he's 6'2", 275 pounds. Bench pressed 225, 23 times just the other day playing around. So the development is there. when we away from the facility, very rarely do we talk football, but we always talk football. I mean, that's something that's a great conversation between both of us. But it's been a joy and a blessing to have an opportunity to be a part of my son's growth at this stage in his life. And I treat all my players as if they were my sons. Try to be honest with them. Try to build a relationship with them. There's different hats you have to wear, from being a disciplinarian to a mentor to a coach to a friend. But for the most part, it's all about just developing those relationships. So just seeing him every day, having the opportunity to mold him, to guide him, has been a tremendous honor.
Coach, thank you so much for your portion and this morning, and best of luck this season.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.